Better and cheaper when you do it yourself. Homemade MRE packs to save you some money in your preps. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be putting together some homemade MRE packs. And I thought I would take you guys along with me and show you the things that I got to do this and how I'm going to do them. Most of you probably know what MRE stands for and what they are, but in case you don't, MRE stands for Meals Ready to Eat. MREs are usually used by the military so that troops in the field can have some sustenance right with them. They usually contain a main entree and a variety of other items to complement it. Things like crackers, cookies, candies, drink mixes, things like that. The idea with these packs is that everything is just like the name implies, ready to eat as is, not requiring any cooking, not requiring any water to be added, other than the drink mixes, of course. This is an important concept in prepping as well, and I'm sure you've heard me mention this before. Having foods that are ready and safe to eat without needing cooking, and foods that can be eaten without even heating if necessary. In an emergency, you never know what your circumstances are going to be. You probably won't have power, and you may not have fuel for cooking, or you may want to conserve what fuel you have. You never know when you may have equipment failure, even if you do have cooking fuel and equipment. And there may also be situations when it's not practical or not safe to cook or heat food. With military MREs, they do usually come with an MRE heater, which basically uses a chemical reaction, a water-activated chemical reaction to produce enough heat to heat the entree. But they could be eaten cold if necessary. I'm putting these MREs together with the idea of having them as portable meals for one individual for one day. They're good to stash in get-home bags and bug-out bags, for example. There's probably some of you out there who think that bug-out bags are just for crazy hardcore preppers, but I'm challenging you to change your perception of bug-out bags if that's the case. Think of it as an evacuation kit. There are many times when people have to evacuate their home for whatever reason. Severe weather like hurricanes and things like that, wildfires, chemical spills, it could be anything. If you had to leave your home in a hurry, would you have the things that you need? This is what a bug-out bag can do for you. But these can be kept anywhere, these MRE kits. You can stash them at your office in case you were to be stranded there. You can keep them in your car, although you might have to be careful on what you put in them depending on the climate, the season, where your car is usually parked, inside or outside, things like that. So let me show you all the things that I got for my MREs today, and then we will put some together. Most everything I'm using today came from either Walmart, Amazon, or Dollar Tree. I did probably shop a little bit in my own pantry, but when I am putting these together, I usually try to start with brand new items because I want the longest possible shelf life. My concept with these is that I put these together, and then every 6 months to a year, depending, I will go through these and we will rotate through them. We'll use these MRE packs if we haven't had to use them in an emergency already. We might pack them up for hiking or open them up and take, things out and put them in the kids' school lunches, things like that. Use them and make fresh ones with fresh ingredients, because although these are all shelf-stable items, they're not necessarily items with a really, really super long shelf life. So we don't want to have things that we've put away, to depend on in an emergency, and then if an emergency comes, they end up being stale, rancid, gone by, things like that. We want to avoid that. So we want to keep things fresh and rotated. Okay guys, so this is pretty much everything that I got for this round of MRE packs. I'm going to start over on this side. I'm going to try to get through this kind of quickly so we can get to the building the MRE parts. I did arrange everything up here kind of in terms of which meal or which category it goes into. So over here I have got things for dinners, and then I've got an area for more lunch type of things, and then I've got a breakfast area. And then I've got kind of sides and nutritional type of items. And then I've got snacks, which is by far my biggest category. And then I have a category for drinks and drink mixes and things like that. And then at the very end, I've got a category for condiments and other things that we might need with our meals. So for the dinners, remember, we are going for shelf stable. We are going for things that are all ready to eat that could be eaten without heating if necessary. Now, in most of our kits in my vehicle, most of the places that we would have these, we do have at least a small backpacking stove. I mentioned earlier there are MRE heaters, and I actually did order a pack of those. Those work inside of a bag. They have a bag that they work inside of to contain everything, and I'm not sure if the bag would fit some of these meals, but I did order some that will be here on Monday, so I'm going to give them a try, and I'll let you know if that works out. But I did try to pick things that I wouldn't mind eating cold. I thought about things that either were supposed to be eaten cold or things that, you know, if we had that leftover from dinner, would I eat that cold? I eat cold leftovers all the time. The first thing I got was some of these completes. These are complete meals. We have gotten these before. They're meant to be microwaved, but you could definitely put them out into a pot or a container, heat them over a fire or a small stove, or you could put them into a pot of hot water and heat them that way, right in the container. We do like these. I have bought these for my kids in the past and they are really tasty, but the one thing that I do know about them is that some of them, even though they might be really tasty, when you open them up and they're cold, they look pretty nasty. Some of the ones that have stuffing and things like that, which are really tasty when they're heated. So I tried to steer clear of those and just pick ones that I thought would be okay if you had to eat them cold. So I did get a chicken Alfredo, a chicken and rice, and a Salisbury steak of these with potatoes. And I did get this one Velveeta cheesy bowl. This was a little more expensive than the Hormel. It's cheeseburger mac. I thought it sounded really good. You can see that these trays are relatively flat and you can eat right out of it and it'll pack pretty easily. I found these two tuna bowls right at my Walmart. There's Teriyaki and Southwest, and they're tuna and rice bowls, and these would definitely be, I believe, pretty much fine to eat cold. I have a few of these packs of Loma Linda meals. Now these are vegetarian meals. For some reason, most of the meals like this are vegetarian. Campbell's used to make something called ready meals that had meat in them. I was unable to find them. I don't think they're making them anymore, which is kind of a shame. But I don't mind the vegetarian and my family doesn't either. I have bought these either at Dollar Tree or I have bought them on Amazon when I can't find them at Dollar Tree. I haven't seen them at Dollar Tree recently. The ones I've got today are a Chipotle bowl, a Thai green curry, and a Greek bowl. And you could also add in, if you wanted some meat, you could add in a pack of just plain chicken. This is a foil pack, so it's very thin and easy to pack. And that way you could upgrade these vegetarian meals. There's other brands that I've seen at my regular grocery store as well. They're kind of usually Indian type of flavors. The next thing I got here, I found these on Amazon. They've been on my radar for a while. I've had my eye on them. They weren't the cheapest, so it took me a while to break down and buy them, but I thought they'd be perfect for this purpose. These are Wild Planet Wild Tuna Pasta Salad. I love pasta salad. Most of my family loves pasta salad, so I thought these would be a really great addition. Once more, they're in a very flat package that will be easy to pack. And this is definitely something that you would eat cold, which is another thing I really liked about it. So now on to lunches. My main concept here was kind of like a sandwich idea, but of course you're not going to find bread that's going to be shelf stable for 6 months or a year. So what I do is I get crackers that are individually wrapped, like these Greta crackers that are from Dollar Tree. I've also gotten some individually wrapped Ritz crackers and some individually wrapped wheat thins, but those are harder to come by and a little bit more expensive because you usually have to buy them in a multi-pack with other varieties. So these are really great, and what I do is I get a whole bunch of different type of sandwich fillings that you can go ahead and put with the crackers and make a lunch out of. And of course, even if that doesn't seem very hearty to you, you can always pack double portions, and you can also fill in with all of these other items over here, our snacks and our sides. So some of the things that I like to have to pack with them are these foil packs of chicken and tuna salad. They already have the mayonnaise, seasonings, little bits of veggies in them. They're super flat. They're super portable. Just tear them open and you can scoop it out and put it on your crackers. I also have a buffalo style chicken. This one came from Dollar Tree. These I get from Amazon usually. They're available at the regular grocery store. I can just usually get a better price on a pack from Amazon. Along those same lines, I have pulled pork. This is from Walmart. They also have a fajita chicken flavor. I have Spam singles. These I have a harder time finding now. I'm not able to find them at my grocery store. I think I usually get them on Amazon in a pack. But these here are a couple of things. This is a can. It's got a pop tab so you don't have to worry about it. It's pretty flat and it's just a deviled ham that you could spread on your crackers. And then these, of course, these are available at Dollar Tree. They're available at the grocery store. We actually really like these. I'm sure there's not a lot of people out here who would go for these, but we take these hiking with us and we'll always put them on bread with cheese and things like that. So these would be good on crackers for lunch as well if this is something that you like. This one with the Louisiana hot sauce is our favorite. So next I'm moving on to breakfast. I did get a bunch of these instant breakfast packets. This is the variety pack with strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. Now the good thing about these is they're meant to be a meal replacement. So they've got you know, the calories, protein, they're fortified. And that's really important when you're looking at things that you're going to be taking in a pack like this, because this is basically almost like having a multivitamin right with you because of all these vitamins and minerals that they've added to it. It's not naturally occurring. This is a more artificial product, but this is going to give you some calories. It's going to give you some energy, some protein. These are meant to be mixed with milk. I do think they would probably be okay mixed with water, just like my son mixes his protein shakes with water. But what I've done is I've taken some instant milk powder and I've put it inside of a straw here. I'll do a video demonstration on how I did this later on in the video. So this could be added to the water with the instant breakfast package, and it would be a little bit more like having milk. Now next I've got some instant oatmeal packets. Now typically you do need boiling water to make these. You can actually pour boiling water right into the little pouch and eat it right out of the pouch if you need to. But I've got some ideas on ways that we can use these without the water that I'll share with you when we're putting our MRE packs together. And then these, I have gotten these before. I did order these from Amazon, and I can't remember if it's because they were cheaper there or if it's because I couldn't find them at my local stores. But I have gotten these before. To me, they're a little bit more breakfasty and a little bit heartier than a granola bar. They're more of a soft, kind of oatmeal bar. And I like to have these as a breakfast option. I also did get these Go-Go Squeeze yogurt pouches. These are fruit and yogurt. They're just kind of like the applesauce pouches and the fruit pouches, but these actually have yogurt. So this is a little bit more breakfasty, and it's a little bit of some different nutrition that you aren't always going to have in a portable lunch. Now my next section is what I consider sides or sort of nutritional additions, sort of like adding some fruits and vegetables and things into these meals. Because the thing about survival food is it's often woefully devoid of nutrition. And usually you're going to find yourself in a pretty short-term situation. It's going to be a few hours, a few days, maybe a few weeks at the most. And so eating a diet that's a little lacking in nutrition during that amount of time is not going to be extremely detrimental to your health, as long as you've got some calories to keep you alive, keep you going, got some electrolytes, things like that to keep you functioning. It's not going to be a huge deal if you're not getting a perfectly balanced nutritional diet. But we do try to add in extra nutrition whenever we can, because that is important to help you stay healthy in a situation like that. That being said, it's definitely better to get your nutrition from whole real foods, but it doesn't hurt to throw in a supplement like a multivitamin pill. This is the multivitamin that I prefer to use. It's got an AM pack and a PM pack, and it's definitely portable because it's in a pack, and that's why I like that. So I'll probably be throwing in some of these. It doesn't hurt to throw in a little bit of extra nutritional insurance. Supplements are good to give us what we're not getting if we can't get it from our food. You'll see that I really do like pouches for this type of thing because, number one, they're a little bit more flat and easy to pack than, say, a fruit cup or something. And they also don't require any type of utensil to eat. You just open it up and you can eat it right out of the pouch. We always have the typical applesauce, but for these meals I got a few different types as well. Next I've got some Roovy packets here. Now this is like my secret weapon when it comes to adding a lot of nutrition in a small space, because what these packets are is basically powdered freeze-dried fruits and vegetables, and there's 4 different flavors, and each packet actually has, you can see how thin and narrow this packet is. It's just about the size of maybe a hot cocoa packet. And each one of these has 4 servings, 4 whole complete servings of fruits and vegetables in them. And each one is different fruits and vegetables depending on what the formula is. They've got mental focus, they've got boost, this is for immunity, this is like a cleansing one, and this is good for heart health. So each one has different fruits and vegetables in it, but it has the whole fruit. It's not juice, it's not extract, it's the whole fruit. So it also has a lot of fiber and all of the nutrients that would be in the whole fruit. 4 servings. If you've ever extracted every bit of water from a fruit and vegetable and then powdered it down, you'll see that you're left with actually very little powder, because so much of that fruit or vegetable consists of water when they're fresh. Now these are meant to be mixed into water and drank like a shake, and that's how I usually do it. You can also mix them with a milk drink, almond milk, anything like that. So you could use a milk straw like that if you wanted, but these can also be mixed into anything else. They could be mixed into oatmeal, yogurt, any of those types of things that we have as well, to add some extra nutrition. And the rest of what I have here are some more of those packets. These I just got right at Walmart, and when I actually got them home and read the ingredients, I'm not as impressed as I thought I would be. It says superfood snack pouches, so I was expecting them to be a lot healthier than your typical, applesauce or fruit pouch, but I don't know, the ingredients did not have me feeling like they were really that nutritious. They do have some protein powder added, so they've got some protein in them, and there'll be a little bit of a different flavor variety for somebody at the very least. I also got these. This is the Walmart brand, and we usually get their applesauce pouches, but this is a fruit and veggie pouch, so it actually has some different flavors and different ingredients. I just thought it would be a nice change. The one thing about these pouches, though, is that they're pretty small, and so for my teenagers, they really aren't that satisfied with one pouch. So I did get 1 pack of these Go-Go Squeeze Big, and it's basically the same concept as the applesauce pouches and the fruit pouches. They're just a bigger size for bigger kids and adults. And so next I've got all the snacks, and this is definitely my biggest category, but it's important to have a lot of extra little things. You can use these to fill in, to make the other meals a little bit more substantial, and it's also important to have a constant source of sustenance so that you can have something that you're snacking on, things that are easy to eat while you're on the move if the need be, things that are comforting, and things that are going to give you some energy. So right here I did get some little mini candy bars. Now this isn't really healthy food, but this is going to give you some calories and some energy to get you through and a little bit of comfort. I do usually try to choose things with nuts and things like that, so at least I can fool myself into thinking they're a little bit healthier, but these are some of our family favorites. And then I have some protein bars, that goes without saying. That's going to be another source of energy, calories, and protein. I have some nut butter packs. This one I got from Amazon. This looks really good, maple almond butter. These are just really small, portable little packs that are just single servings of some easy to eat, concentrated calories, nutrition, protein, fats, things like that. These, I honestly don't know where they came from. A friend of mine who was cleaning out her pantry got rid of these and gave these to us, so I couldn't really find them anywhere. But we're going to use them up for this purpose. Got several different packs of nuts, peanuts, regular, honey roasted. I did get some pistachios. We like pistachios a lot, and these have 3, well, plain and 2 different flavors, so I thought those would be good. These are all single serve packets of nuts. I did also get some meat sticks. This is a meat and cheese combo, the ones where they're both together in the stick. I got these from Amazon. It was a little bit cheaper than getting them at like Dollar Tree or somewhere like that, getting a whole box of them. It did give me a little bit of pause choosing jalapeno because you don't want anything too spicy that's going to maybe upset your stomach or anything like that. But this, I believe this was probably the cheapest option. That's probably why I chose it. And we're used to eating this kind of thing. I don't think it will bother us too much. These are little mini meat sticks just for younger kids. My daughter is probably not going to eat something like this, my youngest daughter, but she would definitely likes these. Also got a pack of just your generic trail mix, just the kind with the nuts, the chocolate, the raisins, those kind of things. A couple packs of different cookies. These are from Dollar Tree. Once again, I got things that my family likes, things that I know my family eats. You definitely want to make sure this is not the time to be experimenting with different foods. If there is something different that you want to add, by all means, go ahead and grab it, pick it up, but test it out first. Let your family try it and make sure they like it before you go and pack it in something like this. Several different kinds of granola bars that my family likes. Once again, these are the kind that have, nuts and things like that. They give a little bit more energy and a little bit more nutrition, and we do like them. This is just one that my daughter really likes. She's called these chocolate bar granola bars for as long as I can remember. And then I just got a couple packs of these snap crackers that everybody likes. They're nice and flat, and they don't have a lot of air packaged in with them. You have to look out for that if you're packaging these type of things up. And so these will be another good snack. And then, of course, I've got some drink mixes and things like that. These kind of drink mixes here that are kind of like the juice Kool-Aid type of ones. You could just put plain ones in, but I figure you might as well have something that has a little bit extra in it. So I got some that have like the electrolytes, the extra hydrating types, and then some that, have some energy, because you never know, you're going to need energy to get through. Sometimes you might need to stay up when you would rather be sleeping. So that could help as well. And most of these packets I do get deals on Ibotta a lot, so I do stock up on these a lot. I also made sure to have some coffee. I cannot live without my coffee. These are single serve packs of instant coffee. That's better than nothing. I've also got some tea bags, some cider packs, some hot cocoa packs. Hot cocoa to me is my comfort food. This is what I always want when I need comfort, when I'm sick, things like that. And if it's cold, we live in Maine, so we have a lot of cold weather. So if you can heat water, if you have a way to heat your water, having some things like this can really be helpful. And then I got some other coffee type of packs. This is vanilla latte, cappuccino, and caramel macchiato. These are single serve coffee packs. I just thought that might be something that I would enjoy and other family members would enjoy. And then I got a pack of bouillon packets, not the cubes, just the packets. I do prefer using powdered bouillon over cubes even in my cooking, but this is so that it could be put into a cup of hot water. Like I said, if you have a way to heat water, which we usually do, this could be something that can help keep you warm, give you a little bit of sodium, which is a very important electrolyte that your body needs, and make you feel like you're actually eating something and not just drinking liquids, even though you're mostly getting liquids. And then the final things that I got are just some condiments and extra things. I don't think I'm going to need much for these meals in particular, but I did get this package of individual powdered coffee mate creamers. I have got to have some kind of creamer in my coffee. I am not a big fan of the powdered, but I thought that this would be better than nothing. I've come to kind of accept it. I've used it when I really need to. This package was from Amazon. I think I chose it because it was the cheapest I could find at the time, but it also has little sugar packets in it, which is handy. I think it has an equal number. I don't see the sugar packets really easily, but I think that it has supposedly an equal number of sugar packets and the creamer packets. Now, I did get that from Amazon, but a lot of the other things that we have are just things that we already had. I do have a lot of salt and pepper packets. This is mostly the salt. I have another container with more pepper, but there's enough peppers in here that's all that I need. I also have other condiment packets. This is just ketchup and mayonnaise. This is something that if we get fast food or something like that and there's extra condiments, we save them. So we have several containers with different kinds of condiments. Mayonnaise, ketchup, those are the most popular ones. These I do buy from Amazon. I love these little dip and squeeze because you can either peel the lid off and use it as a cup to dip, or you can tear the top off and just squeeze it onto your burger or whatever. And we do like these, so I do purchase these, even though we have a lot of these packets that we've saved up from fast food and things. And then, of course, we have a lot of also utensils, plastic utensils. Now, you could put in any plastic utensils, but I do save some extras that we get from, you know, takeout type of things, and I keep them in a container. So a lot of these are already wrapped up with napkins and things like that. So these will be very handy to use in these kits. Another thing that you can include if you want is some kind of wipes. These are Clorox wipes. I wouldn't use these on my skin, but if you wanted to wipe up the area, the spot where you were going to eat, or you could include some kind of a wet wipe that's more appropriate for, you know, washing up your hands and things like that before you eat. Now, if you watch the channel, you know that I am a big fan of individually wrapped items specifically for purposes like this. And I usually have a hard time finding wipes, you know, gentle wipes for face and hands that are individually wrapped. So honestly, I tend to use these butt wipes. I mean, I just figure that if they're gentle enough for your nether regions, they're gentle enough for your face. So I always have, you know, a couple of these in my purse, in my bathroom bag. I pack them for my kids. I used to pack them for my kids until they started getting embarrassed that they said butt wipes on them. So I actually saw some that said something slightly different. I think they just said bee wipes or something. And so I think I'm going to probably get those because my kids will no longer carry these with them to school and places like that. And then the other option is little towel tablets like these. These are compressed, basically kind of like a compressed paper towel. It's compressed into a teeny little coin, and if you put it into, just dampen it with a little bit of water, it starts to open up and it would make a whole nice you know, damp towel that you could use to clean up with. And these take up very little space. We like these a lot. Okay, so let's get started putting together some packs. My first pack, I've got my youngest daughter in mind. And for breakfast, I'm going to do one of these breakfast bars. And I'm also going to do a pack of the instant breakfast with one of the milk straws because these aren't too terribly substantial. They're not very big, so we're going to do that for breakfast. And then for lunch, she's going to have a pack of the chicken salad with a pack of the Greta crackers. And I'm going to go ahead and include one of these fruit pouches as well. And then for dinner, I'm going to give her the chicken Alfredo because she really likes chicken Alfredo. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to end up taking the paper off because I just think that that's just extra bulk and extra weight. And I'm just going to take a Sharpie and write what this is right on the lid. And that should be sufficient. And then for snacks and desserts, she's going to be getting some animal crackers, a chocolate bar, granola bar, a thing of pistachios, that's her favorite, a couple desserts, these chocolate sandwich cookies and Almond Joy. She was pretty excited when she saw that I bought some Almond Joy, so we'll give her one of those. And one of these small meat sticks. And then for drinks, I'm going to give her one of these Propel packets and a thing of hot chocolate. And a thing of the chicken bouillon because she does like to have a cup of chicken broth, especially if she's not feeling well. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick in one of these little compressed towels. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in just a couple of these packs. This one's got a spoon, this one's got a spork. This could take the chicken salad out of the pouch, and this one could be for the pasta. You can always wipe and carry with you and reuse any of your utensils if you need to. I'm also going to put in a packet of salt. She probably won't need that. She doesn't like pepper, but just in case, it can't hurt to have it. So this is going to be our first daily MRE pack. I'm going to get this packaged up. So I've got these bags. These are Avid Armor bags, and they're 10 by 13 inches. And I'm hoping this is going to be just perfect. Okay, that is everything that I wanted to get in this bag. I am pretty happy about that. Okay guys, I know I said that the MRE heaters I ordered weren't supposed to be here till Monday, but Amazon came through for me. Now I could have actually paid extra for shipping and gotten them here yesterday, but you know me, I do not like to pay for shipping, so there's no way that was going to happen. So I just took my chances and they showed up early. So let's see if this is something that's going to work for any of these meals. Nope, this is just barely too big. I am just going to try and experiment here though. I'm going to try activating this heater. Wow, you can see the steam coming out of there. I'm going to fold that over. If you have some kind of a cozy, like this is just a kid's lunch bag. We use these for cozies sometimes. I'm going to go ahead and enclose these together in here. And I'm just going to prop this up the way that it says to prop it up in the instructions. And we are going to see what happens by keeping this contained together in a cozy. Okay, so it has now been just over 10 minutes. I did at one point flip the meal over so that the top side was down. I think the reaction is over. It's still really hot in there. The heater itself is still really hot. But I just want to see if this actually did warm our meal. I mean, it feels warm from the outside. I'm just going to try a bite and see. And that definitely did warm it. It's not piping hot like it would be if you put it in the microwave, but it definitely did warm it. And like I said, it still is hot inside the bag with the heater. So I could have left it longer. It's still actually, the heater itself is still really hot, but I'm going to show you. We buy these lunch bags on clearance, usually for less than $1 all the time after back to school season, because they really do make good cozies for like backpacking meals like this where you add the boiling hot water and then you just let it set for a little while to refresh the meal. So you want to lock in the heat, so it works really great for those. This heater got so hot that it actually kind of melted the liner. It didn't melt all the way through, but it melted enough to stick to the heater. And this heater is still really, really hot. So I really could continue to warm this meal in here, but I wouldn't recommend this type of a bag as a cozy for this type of purpose. You can make cozies out of these automobile sunshades. These also go on clearance. When summer's over, they go on clearance for really cheap. Usually you can get one for $1 or $2, and they're really big. So you can cut these and use like aluminum foil tape and things like that to make a cozy that I think would work better than the lunchbox cozy. But yes, this heater is still piping hot. So I could continue heating that chicken meal. But you don't want to get any of that liquid that you poured into the bag or any of the steam that it created or anything like that into your food. All right, now obviously since this one has been used, I'm going to have to replace that meal with a different one. So we'll do the chicken and rice. And now I do think it might be worth sliding one of these MRE heaters into these kits. It really takes up very little space and very little weight, and it gives the option of heating this entree if you have something to heat it inside of. So we recently added an Additives chamber sealer to our lineup of food preservation tools, and I was really excited to try it out. I thought this would be a perfect first project to do in the Additives. Now, a chamber sealer is similar to a Foodsaver vacuum sealer, but it's just one step above. Instead of using suction to remove the air from the packages, it uses vacuum pressure, and so it does a much better job. We sealed our first MRE package, and this was our very first time trying out the machine. You know, we've seen it, we've seen videos and things like that, but we'd never actually tried it ourselves. So we set the pressure time at 60, which was the lower end of the range that, we were given. And we ran it. And this is the results that we got. You can see that it was vacuum sealed. It wasn't super tight, but I thought it was perfectly fine for the purposes that we were using it for. But stay tuned to see what happened when we ran our second and our third MRE packs through the Additives and what we ended up doing. For my next MRE pack, for breakfast, I'm going to be including a pouch of oatmeal. Now, you can pour boiling water right into the packet of oatmeal if you have boiling water. But another thing that you can do is you can take one of these yogurt packs and you can actually stir the yogurt pack right into the packet of oatmeal, right inside the bag. These bags are waterproof. They have a coating on the inside. And you can kind of make almost like an overnight oats, but you don't have to wait overnight because these are instant oats, so these are going to soften up really quickly. And you can also add some fruit from a fruit pouch if you want it a little bit looser, a little bit less thick, the mixture, and that will make a good filling breakfast. This time for lunch, I'm going to go with another pack of the Greta crackers, and I'm going to pair that with the deviled ham spread. I'm also going to include the Ruby Focus Pack. This is my favorite blend because this is for brain focus, mental clarity, all those things that the older I get, the more I really need those. And I do just usually mix those with water myself. For dinner in this pack, I'm going to add the tuna pasta salad. Now, because this is a pretty small serving, I am going to add some peanut butter crackers and one of the big pouches, big fruit and veggie pouches to go along with that. For snacks in this pouch, I'm going to include the meat and cheese sticks. I'm going to include one of these trail mixes, a protein bar. I'm going to include one of these almond butters, and I'm going to include a couple of the little fun-size Snickers because those are my favorite candy bar. That definitely keeps me going. I am going to include one of my AM and PM vitamin packs. For drinks in this pack, because this pack, I'm thinking of myself as I'm building this pack, I am going to include not one but 2 coffee packets. I'm also going to include, this is 6 of the creamer packets because I definitely like creamer in my coffee. And just in case that's not enough, I'm going to include a caramel macchiato. I'm also going to put in a cocoa packet, hot cocoa, a bouillon packet. These are honestly so small and so thin and so light that I feel like this is something that can be included in every single package. And then I'm also going to add in one of these electrolyte drink packets in the lemonade flavor. I've got some cutlery packs, knife, fork, and spoon, and napkins. Clorox wipe in case I need to clean an area to eat. A gentle wipe for hands and face, and I am going to include one of these little towel tablets, kind of like the bouillon packet. These are so small and light, I don't see any reason not to include one in every pack. Now I'm going to see if I can get this all packed up into one of these 10 by 13 Additives bags. Now the purpose of putting them in these bags, number one, it's going to keep everything all together. It's going to be one day's meals and snacks for one person in one package. Number two, it'll probably help extend the shelf life a little bit. Like I said, these are not something we're expecting to last for 5 or 10 years. These are something we're planning on rotating out every 6 months to a year. But if you don't have a chamber sealer, you can use a Foodsaver and Foodsaver bags. And if you don't have a Foodsaver, you can just put these in a regular old Mylar bag or just a gallon-sized Ziploc. Anything to contain them is going to work. Now if we can get this to seal, this one will be all set. So we're going to go ahead and put the pouch in the chamber sealer. That holds down magnetically. We're going to go ahead and close the chamber. And we're going to hit the auto vac and seal. So cool. Wow, that one's sealed super tight. That's like a brick. Now for the next MRE pack that I'm putting together, I'm going to be using the Velveeta Cheesy Bowl. This one looks like it's pretty well labeled, so I don't think I have to label it, but I did not realize that the cheese packet came on the outside, so that's interesting. So this is going to be the dinner. For the lunch in this pack, I'm going to be doing the pulled pork with the crackers. And then for breakfast, I'm going to do one of the oatmeal squares with one of the superfood pouches and also an instant breakfast with a milk straw. Because when I'm making this package, I am thinking about my son, and he definitely is a big eater, being a teenage boy. It really helps put these together if you think of specific members of your family, and then you can really pick out things that they would like. So I told you I would show you how I made the little straws with the milk powder inside. And there's lots of ways you could do this. You could take very small Mylar bags, or you could take a larger Mylar bag, cut it down and seal off the edges. But what I'm doing this time is I'm taking these straws. These are milkshake straws or boba straws. They're pretty wide diameter, so they can hold more. They do have this one end that's sort of angled, if you can see that. So I'm just going to trim that off straight. And then I have got my impulse sealer here. I've got it set to the highest setting that it has, which is right up here, 8. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put the end of the straw right on the bar. It kind of helps if you press it a little bit first, flatten it a little bit. And if it doesn't look like it's sealed completely, you can give it another go. And you can give it a couple of seals if you need to get it to go. And then I did hold it a little bit longer after the machine turned off. Go ahead and snip that end off straight. And then I've just got this little funnel. And then I've got my instant milk, which is almost gone, but I'm just putting a little bit in here. 1 cup of this is supposed to be 3 tablespoons of the powder. Now this straw isn't going to hold 3 tablespoons, but it'll hold, you know, a couple tablespoons at least. And that's going to be enough to give it some milkiness, so it's better than mixing the instant breakfast with just water. A little bit more will fit. So I think that's about good. So now I've just got to seal the other end. I'm going to go ahead and pinch it with my fingers and try to get it a little bit flattened off to begin with. Then put it right on there. Hold it down. I'm going to hold it a little bit longer now that it's clicked off. And if it needs to go again, I'll put it again. Okay, it looks like 3rd time's a charm for that one. And we have a sealed straw full of milk powder. Now you can actually do this on the ends with just like a lighter and a pair of pliers. You don't need to have an impulse sealer. In fact, it might have been easier with the lighter and the pliers. But since I had the impulse sealer right here in the kitchen, I just thought I would use that. For snacks, in this one I'm going to be including a protein bar, a package of the cream cheese crackers, my kids really like those, some honey roasted peanuts, one of these chocolate peanut butter nutrient spreads is what it says, a couple of these smaller meat sticks, and for desserts we'll throw in a couple of Twix and one of the chocolate sandwich cookies. For drink packets, I'm just going to include one of the energy water bottle flavoring packets and a thing of chicken bouillon because he is not a big drinker of any other type of beverage. And then I'm also going to go ahead and include this pack, which has fork, knife, and spoon, a couple of salt and pepper packets, and one of these little towel tabs. I'm gonna lay the edge of the bag over that sealing strip and hold it down with the magnetic bar. We've got our settings the same. So we're gonna go ahead and press the auto vac. So when we did the second MRE pack in the Avid Armor, Mr. Wicked Prepared decided that that wasn't quite good enough and he wanted to crank the pressure time up to 70. So that's what we did. And this one went a little bit differently, and it did vacuum seal a lot tighter than the first one. Everything seemed okay, but I was a little concerned when I started to see some of the packages inside the MRE packs ballooning up, because I do understand what the chamber pressure sealers do, but I have a really hard time wrapping my mind around how they actually do it. And so it never really occurred to me that it was going to be affecting the pressure inside and outside of these other packages, these already sealed packages that we were including in these MRE packs. But this pack did seem to come out okay, so we moved on to the next one. Well, when we put this third MRE pack in the Avid Armor chamber sealer and let it run, this was when we realized that this wasn't going to be the best option for sealing these meals, because partway through the cycle we heard a pop, and when we opened it up at the end, we realized that that entree tray, the macaroni and cheese entree tray, had actually burst because of the pressure. So after that, we decided that probably the Foodsaver was going to be a better way to go for this purpose. For everything else, the Avid Armor blows the Foodsaver out of the water, but for something like this, because of those already sealed packages, I think the Foodsaver is going to be a better choice. So we're going to finish up the last two packages with the Foodsaver. We are going to keep the first two packages as they are and not redo them, because nothing burst, nothing got crushed, and they're going to be just fine. But in the future, I think the Foodsaver is going to be the better option for this type of package. So for the rest of these MRE packs, I am going to be using good old Foodsaver bags. Now this is all ready to go in the Foodsaver. Okay, so let's do this. Alright, there we go. Now the good thing about the Foodsaver is that I can press the seal button at any time. So if I think that my ingredients are going to become too compressed, or my contents of this bag, I just go ahead and hit the seal button, and at that point it will seal off the bag and stop vacuuming. So that's a really nice feature. You can do that with an Avid Armor. You can press seal at any time and it will stop the vacuum, but you can't really see what the vacuum effect is going to be until after that, really. So you just have to kind of know, and we're not experienced enough with that yet. If we were to do some more playing around with the settings on the Avid Armor, we might be able to use it for this purpose, but for now I think the Foodsaver is going to do okay. Now, something to note about Foodsaver bags, these bags aren't really meant for long-term storage. They are semi-permeable. They do let air in over time, and they tend to fail over time. But like I said, once again, these are not intended for a long-term storage. These are just going to be put away for 6 months to a year and then cycled out, and so that's going to be just fine. So here is our third MRE pouch, and it came out much better this time. For this next MRE pouch, I'm going to include one of the vegetarian meal pouches for the dinner. That's the Chipotle bowl. For lunch, I'm going to include a tuna pouch and the Greta crackers, and also one of these big squeeze apple sauces. For breakfast, we're going to do an oatmeal bar and a yogurt pouch. I'm going to include a rupee pouch in this one. This one's going to be the Boost, which is for immunity and skin. My daughter really likes that one. I am going to include another one of these AM and PM vitamin pouches in here as well. And then for snacks, I'm going to include some of the cream cheese crackers and one of these sweet and salty peanut granola bars. I am also going to include a couple of Twix candy bars and a thing of the chocolate sandwich cookies. For drinks, in this MRE, I'm going to include the raspberry lemonade Propel. I'm going to include a packet of the hot apple cider mix and a tea bag for tea. I'm also going to include a couple of creamer pouches and a little tub of honey for the tea. We like honey in our tea. And this one's also going to include the vanilla latte and one of the bouillon pouches. And then for extras, I'm going to be including a fork, knife with a napkin, and a spoon and straw with a napkin. I will put in one of these wipes, one of these compressed towel tablets, and some salt and pepper. Okay, so let's get this fourth MRE sealed up. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one sealed. Okay, here's our fourth MRE pack all ready to go. I did stop that one a little bit early as well. This is not for long term, so this is plenty. This is just going to compact it, make everything stay together, everything stay, you know, protected, but it's not going to crush anything or pop anything or anything like that. So, okay, so I have shown you how we put together 4 different MRE packs. And I could continue on like this all day, but I think that's enough to give you the idea. So if you wanted to make these on your own, you've got the gist of it. You've got some ideas for things that you can put in. I would love it if you would leave all of your ideas, if you have other ideas besides the ones that I've listed for different foods to go in MRE packs, just put them down in the comments. That would be wonderful. You can put them together any way that you want, and then you can seal them up any way that you want. I'm no longer going to recommend using a chamber sealer unless you're a lot more experienced with it than we are, and maybe you can control the pressure a little bit better. But I think the Foodsaver worked great, and I think that a Ziploc bag, it's not going to protect as airtight as this, but it's going to do a fine job of keeping everything together inside of your bag, inside of your pack, inside of your car, inside of your pantry, wherever you choose to keep these. Okay guys, there you go. There are some of my ideas for homemade MRE packs. If you have more ideas, I'd love it if you'd leave them down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful or at least entertaining. If you did, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber already, we would love to have you. So go on and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified whenever we upload a new video. Thank you for watching today. We always appreciate it when you choose to spend a little bit of your day with us. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a backpack emoji down in the comments. And then check out this video right up here where I made some very similar meal packs, but I made them family size. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.